Didn't hear he isn't, so.
He is coming.
Yes, I believe so.
Ready, Tony?
Ready, Tony? Okay. Is it 7? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay, good. All righty. Well, hello down in the media room. We're ready to go. So welcome to the April 9th regular meeting and workshop of the Hyde Park Town Board. Please join me while we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of the March 26th meeting?
I make a motion?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so, sorry, it's slipped in my eye. There's public comment on the resolutions or any matter of town business, if anyone would like to make those. Doesn't appear so, so we'll move right on to our first workshop, and we have our town historian Shannon Butler and our rec director Kathleen Davis here to talk about our New Guinea site historical cultural management plan and historical markers. So please, would you mind joining us right up here at the table? Thanks for coming out tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Sure. And Shannon, I don't know that have you been to the town board before?
No, but I've watched on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. We're so glad that you have volunteered for the position of town historian, and maybe you want to just tell us a little bit about your background, if you like. And I don't know, have you met the entire board yet?
No.
No. Okay, so
I haven't.
Everybody, would you like to? So Ken Schneider and
How are you?
Good, how are you, Ken?
Excellent, thank you.
and Joe, of course, you've
Joe,
met.
Joe I know, yeah.
And Donna, you know. And
Yes, that's right, you swore me in.
hopefully without too much swearing.
Oh, wait.
And Dave, have you?
And I've been working with Shannon.
Yes.
Okay, and then Emily Svensson. Yeah.
Hi.
Looks like great. Well, I know that you have made history your life in many ways, right? So
This is true, yeah.
Yeah, so we're really happy that you're here leading the charge, so to speak.
Well, thank you.
So, and I know that you're working very nicely with Kathleen, so thank you for that.
She hasn't kicked me out of Hackett Hill yet.
No, okay, well, hopefully that won't happen, at least before it gets nice out, so.
Before it's nice.
So I know that Kathleen has come a couple of times in the past to talk about the New Guinea site at Hackett Hill, but maybe you guys want to just give us a brief update and then talk about the application that you are making for a grant and some other things.
Okay, so the grant that I'm actually applying for is for a National Historic Landmark marker sign, like one of those famous blue and yellow signs you see on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And it comes from the William G. Pomeroy Foundation. And it's a really cool foundation because they pretty much pay for everything. And all you really have to do is supply the groundskeeper to dig the hole and put the sign in it. So I pretty much have all the documentation needed to apply for this grant. The only thing that I need is, first of all, if you guys do okay it, and I think we need let's see, what is needed. And it's a letter, a land permission letter, an official land permission letter from the town stating, yes, this is our land. Yes, we're okay with this historic sign going up. And it's got to be like an official letterhead, town letterhead, and signed by the supervisor. That is a pretty basic thing. And the whole purpose is so that people can know that this is a historic site. It's a really important part of African American history that's right here in Hyde Park that a lot of people don't know even exists. It's land that belonged to, of course, former slaves, freed slaves of the Bard family, and their whole community that they were able to exist and prosper in this small part of Hyde Park is a fascinating story. And it should really be told, I think. So the first step here, I think, would be the historic site marker, just to let people know, hey, this is here. and then maybe that'll inspire them to pull over, read the sign. I know I have a lot of friends who are historic site marker junkies, and they go driving around and they look for these things, and then they stop and they check it out. Like the one on Route 9 is cool, but that's such a hard place to stop.
The on 9G, the one on 9G? You
No.
mean?
That
on
one
Route
too,
9.
yeah, there's one on 9G as well, but that's
Yeah.
at the bank, so I guess you can
Yeah.
pull to the bank
Right.
and kind of see. But the cool thing about having one at Hackett Hill is that's a park, and people can just pull right in and park and go, oh, hey, there's trails here too. Let's hike around and check it out.
So where are you envisioning putting the sign?
Somewhere, I imagine, near the entryway to the parking lot there. I would think that would be a good spot. Because if you were to put it closer to the corner where the Fredonia Lane historic road actually starts, that's on a corner, and people slowing down there could actually probably get dangerous. So if we were a little bit further towards, I think, the entrance to the park itself, that might be a bit better, a bit safer, I think. Once you've got that sign, and it's easy to get that sign because the property's already on the National Historic Landmark list. It's been official, that's been approved. So when you've got that designation, that pretty much guarantees you an okay on getting a historic sign marker, or historic site marker, I should say. And then once we've got that, I think the next step is to follow the advice from the good people of Albany, People's Island, and put together this cultural resource management plan, which is this next big project that we're trying to work on here. So they're two separate things, really. The grant, and then starting to develop in better detail the cultural resource management plan, which will then lead to future searching and grants for future signage, trail improvements, and stuff like that.
Okay, so the plan is something that would have to be adopted and executed? Is that the idea?
Yeah, the cultural resource management plan is definitely something that I think we would have to continue to improve upon, have you guys take a look at, see what your thoughts are on it, and then kind of morph it from there.
Yeah, develop it and finalize it. I mean, I guess the state said it's basically like maybe like a 5-year plan, just to sort of get the property secured, the site area secured, the cellar holes, how would you go about doing that? And then whatever our ideas might be for, cultural interpretation.
So the point of my inquiry is just to make sure that we're not biting off more than we can chew in terms of management. So that's really what I was just kind of leafing through, looking for the details and what would be involved in terms of securing the site. Is that the first step?
Yeah, certainly securing the historic resources that are there. Right now, we just have empty pits. Archaeological pits that, in all honesty, really should be covered up. Not to the extent that now you don't know if there's anything there. We were actually talking with the folks from People's Island about maybe leaving like a little bit of a footprint, filling in the pits part of the way, right? Yeah. And then having kind of like a foundation around it, leaving some of that stonework up top, so that nobody will fall in, but they'll know something was there. And then if you get far enough along, where you've gone ahead and you've improved the trail that's back there, to inspire people to continue to walk back there, then the future step, after you've stabilized the site, improved the trails, I think the next point would be to apply for grants for interpretive signage, which would include like the history of the site, who was living there, historic maps, maybe even, and this is some inspiration I was taking from Fort Montgomery State Historic Site. Have any of you guys been down there?
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, they've got these great historic signs with artistic renditions of what they think.
What they look like.
Yeah, what they think the sites looked like. So if we could have something like that, have some historians come, and I know that Dutchess County Historical Society still has money in a grant for a researcher to come in and continue to do some of this work on this project. And we could use maybe some of that to help kind of get a better idea of what's there, so that we could get better interpretive signage in the future.
Well, that is a question I had too. And how are you interacting with the Dutchess County Historical Society? Are they part of this management plan? And are they willing to contribute funds or energy towards it? Because again, it's great that we have this wonderful, rich historical site, but I just want to make sure we have a good understanding of what we'd be committing to in terms of preserving it and in terms of our limited resources, you know, like, because we, again, I'm not sure whether it's a recreational initiative or if it's a town historian initiative. So I think we just need to clarify that relationship and that arrangement, as well as how we will fund those projects. If we go forward on, you know, creating this management plan, I want to make sure that we have the resources to live up to that. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I know that Melanie Moore is from the Dutchess County Historical Society has been a great influence in all of this.
Yeah.
She's taken this very seriously. She's the one who pressed me to get the grant for the historic sign. You've got the thing that she gave me. This is the thing that talks about the William Pomeroy grant, right? So she hands me one of these and I went, do it.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, okay. And she's like, it's not going to cost you or the town any money.
Okay, well, then she knew what we would be asking.
Yeah.
The next question.
Well,
yeah.
that's like the town, just like any historical society. It's like, well, who's got the money? You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is there a conflict at all between recreation and historical? Or do they go kind of hand in hand? How does that work?
Well, I think this particular site is a good combination of both. And I think it would be a good chance for a great teamwork here. Because it's a historic site, but it's also a recreational site.
Right.
Because it's a trail, right? And it's on recreational property.
Right.
So the opportunity here to develop future programs as far as historical interpretation, that's my part.
Okay.
I think the part of just maintaining the trail itself, that's recreation.
Gotcha.
I think that's really the split.
What is the status of the dig, so to speak, there? Is that complete? I mean, has Melody given you any information on
We
that?
certainly don't want any more digging.
Okay, no more dig.
No more digging.
Okay. And so if you make the excavated areas and make them intact, then that will be it into the future? Is that the plan, or?
I think so. We've got some folks coming from Albany to do some GPS tracking, right? That's next week.
Sonar, so they can actually, we'll be able to map out areas that we might even not, know that where they exist, the old homes. So apparently there were about,
At least 8.
8
Eight
sites.
homes there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of, background research that's been done on the history of the site and some of the families that live there. They know exactly where at least 3 of the homes were and who they were. And so this GPSing with the sonar, it's like new state of the art. They're going to do that for free.
Okay.
They volunteered to come down and do that for us.
They love
And
this
that
stuff.
way, that's going to help them finish their interpretation of the site and do some more studies, maybe identifying all the fragments or like the ceramic pottery that they've collected at different locations.
And that's all in the Dutchess County Historical Society.
So they actually have
some money
taken
left
possession
to
of that?
hire like a postgraduate student to kind of just finish some of the questions that
And-
are kind of still out there.
Is the idea that those artifacts would stay at the Historical Society, or?
That's the best
Yeah.
place for them right
Yeah,
now, because
yeah.
I don't think we have any place to
Right.
store them here in Hyde Park. The
Yeah.
Historical Society certainly doesn't have any place for them. So right now, they're safe and secure at the Clinton House, and they've got pretty much a whole room to themselves. I mean, there's a ton of stuff.
Boxes and boxes.
And the work that had been done by the prior Dr. Linder, I think it was, is that the name?
Yeah, they're not.
Has that work it's not really being utilized?
I guess,
Yeah, what happened was Ann Wentworth, who works for the county there, she's a historian. She and an intern had to go through all the boxes that the professor had put together and bag everything, wash things, rebag them, re-identify them. And that took them probably about, I don't know, at least a year and a
Yeah.
half. So everything's sort of like all in order now. Some of the things hadn't even been identified. And apparently Ann's like a ceramic specialist. So she re-identified some of the things.
Yeah.
And
A lot of things
So-
are misinterpreted.
Okay.
About the trail, how does the trail fit into the master plan for Hackett Hill?
Well, I mean, we have we have two loop trails there. The green that goes on one side of the property that hooks into the red, which goes through the side of the property where the site is, the Guinea community.
Okay.
So, I guess what the county was suggesting, Melody, was to, you know, maybe create a spur trail, that would just go up to like one of the sites, or maybe two, depending. And that would just bring you to the site, and then at that point, you know, at least you can get there and look at it.
Yeah.
And so,
So is it on
That's
the
basically how
eastern or the western?
The
Part.
western.
Western
It's in-
side,
it's in the
yeah,
way.
western side of Hackett,
yeah,
of the house, yeah.
off of Fredonia Lane, which
Yeah.
was the main thoroughfare in those days. That was
Okay.
like the main road,
Yeah.
and they were on the west side of it,
Okay.
highway.
So they're easy to find, but unfortunately, they're also easy to fall into. Because right now, they're just open, you know,
Yeah.
rock pits,
And apparently
essentially.
there might be some wells there too.
Yes,
That they're
yeah.
worried about, so that's why they want to do this GPS sonar.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Identify where those are, as well
Yeah.
as well some of the privies, little privies,
Yeah.
and make sure everything gets filled in.
Everything's closed up.
So what would be the responsibility as far as our staff? Like, is it just,
Yeah.
is this anything that the town staff has to be involved with?
As far as the grant thing, yeah, like I said, I have to get the okay from you guys, an official
Sure.
letterhead for the application for the grant. For the cultural resource management plan, I think we should probably go through and maybe you guys can go through this and let us know what you think should go in here, what's maybe not so relevant, what you want changed. Oh. And then you guys can approve this, and then we could at least have this as sort of our guidelines of what to do next. Just so that we got the okay from you guys, I guess, is really what's most important.
So, just taking a look at it, you know, very cursory look, I think we just would want to get a feeling for the amount of time and money that we would need to put in to make this happen, and I don't know, and a plan for achieving the goals. So, you know, the first item is to secure the site. So, you know, I will need to understand how much it's going to cost and where we're
Okay.
going to get the resources to do that, so we can plan.
That's something
For
I want to
that.
ask Melody, actually, since it was the since it was this archaeologist from Bard who went ahead and dug up all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, left us with
Just leave your whole spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
really.
really, I mean, the one pit, he left a mess. There's still tarps back there that have been there for the past 10 years that are just, you know, covering the site. And he left it a mess. So, I think what I have to do is sit down with Melody and say, all right, so can you guys take what grant money you have and hire somebody else to come in here and
Finish
fix
the job.
this mess?
Right.
Yeah.
Without digging, without causing any more damage. See if they can get it to where it's stabilized and safe. So that, I guess that's something I'd have to sit down with her, and maybe the people from People's Island, we can discuss that with them too when they come down again.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, and, you know, not to imply we're penny pitching or anything, but, you know, I know the comptroller will say, well, you know, if you're going to sign this, you'll have to make sure that you have a scope of what you're going to be doing and how much it's going to cost,
Yeah.
and so
And
that
it just might take time to get, you know, to get through it. 'cause
Oh,
it's
sure, yeah.
obviously
right,
just-
and
yeah.
and you know, I just am
It
reluctant
is like a
to make
5-year plan too, that's the idea.
Right, you know, you want to make sure that you, when you agree to something, that you really intend to do it and that you have the resources to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. But the historical marker is real easy.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's-
like that one.
And that's kind of my plan for any future interpretive signage that goes at this site. The plan is to find grants to do it.
Yes.
If I can find the money and that's not going to cost you guys anything,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Because
And then, like, the rec staff would come in as like an in-kind match, like
Sure.
to do the improvements on the, whatever it might be, the trail, or, you know, maybe making some of the signs, or
Installing the signage, yeah.
installing the
Yeah.
Well,
signage.
we have
yeah.
our highway super here, and he's super helpful, so.
If you do want to put the sign near the road, you should talk to Howie about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for plowing and things, yeah.
What, do you think that it would be best near the entryway into the park and certainly not on that corner there, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Good,
Okay, good.
good.
Oh, good, all right.
Works for the parks.
Okay,
No, good.
excellent.
All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate your
it's
looking
exciting.
out for new projects, and it's great, thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen. Okay.
Thank
take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
bye.
Thanks for doing that.
Thanks,
It's a
guys.
great
Yeah,
project.
terrific.
It's
If
fun.
you ever want to come over and we can walk
Yeah,
around.
Take out
I'd
a
like
tour,
to do
you
that.
know?
I would definitely like to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish we had the
Okay.
money to.
Good night, thanks.
Thank you,
Yep.
guys.
Yeah.
It's incredible. One guy
All righty.
owned his home outright and owned property. He's walking by.
All right, so moving on to our resolutions pretty quickly.
All right, Resolution 491 of 2018. Resolution awarding the bid for the repairs to the Highway Garage Salt Barn and Highway Garage Lower Roof and the Pinewoods Garage Roof to transitional builders.
Second,
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 49-2 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town comptroller and senior account clerk to attend the 18th Annual Town Finance Schools, May 3, through May 3rd and 4th in Saratoga Springs.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 49-3 of 2018, resolution accepting the proposal of Civic Plus for additional website development, design, and maintenance for the Hyde Park Trail System as an amendment to the contract with Civic Plus for website development, design, and maintenance for the town of Hyde Park.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
I'm glad that worked out for them
Yes.
to also do the
Yes.
recreation website. That'll be
Yeah.
a nice fit.
Yes, it definitely will.
Yeah, that's great. Resolution 49-4 of 2018, resolution setting the starting pay rate for event staff for the town of Hyde Park recreation events.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
And just on that note, the town is looking for counselors as well as lifeguards. So if anyone is interested, you can go to the town website and then take the link to the Recreation Department for applications.
Resolution 495 of 2018, a resolution increasing the hours of the town of Hyde Park groundskeeper/cleaner positions.
Second,
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we are increasing, we have two very, very good groundskeeper, keeper cleaners, and they're going to be working 40 hours for 26 weeks of the year. And then during the winter, they'll go back to their 35 hours.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
plan.
yep.
yeah. Okay, resolution 49-6 of 2018, resolution appointing temporary seasonal laborer for the town of Hyde Park Recreation Department.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 49-7 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute an intermunicipal agreement affirming Hyde Park's participation in the Hudson River Drinking Water Intermunicipal Council and appoint Emily Svensson as the town's authorized representative on the Hudson River Drinking Water Intermunicipal Council.
I second that.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
And it's a very good project, and Emily has been participating, and it's really kind of innovative that the communities on both sides of the river are joining together to advocate for clean water, so.
Yeah,
Emily, I don't
and
know if
actually, all 7 of the municipalities are, I think, Town of Poughkeepsie and one other one already did their resolution, and the other ones are doing them this month, so we'll be signing the agreement soon.
Yeah, that's
Great.
great.
Good.
And that'll keep Emily busy with her spare time.
Yes, all of that.
Yes, you have a lot
All
of that.
5 minutes that she has.
Resolution 49-8 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute an architectural engineering consulting agreement with Greenman Peterson Incorporated for the town, for New York State Department of Transportation funded pedestrian improvement project for Route 9, Phase B, Park Plaza to the firehouse.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
That's exciting.
Yep,
Yes,
here
it
we
is.
go. Get ready,
Here we go again.
but not till next
Resolution
year.
499 of 20, whoa, oh my God, an ant just fell from the sky. An ant
Finance.
One
fell
of my
from the
kitchen.
sky
Wow.
onto my paper.
It's the one that followed me here, I think.
All right, sorry. Resolution 499 of 2018, resolution authorizing the waiver of the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Facility use fee for the use of the pond at Greenfields Park for the Roosevelt Engine Company No. 2 Children's Fishing Derby on Saturday, June 2nd.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
So we're happy to do this. It's a great event that serves the population of the town of Hyde Park, so we were happy to waive the fee.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a busy day. I think that's also the day for the end-to-end hike, too.
Is
in
that
Hyde
right?
Park, I believe, yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of people. That's great. Good day for Hyde Park.
Events in Hyde Park, yeah.
Okay, and this is the last one. Resolution 49-10 of 2018, resolution designating the weekend of May 19th and 20th, 2018 for the Town of Hyde Park townwide tag sale.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
And this year, we will be producing a map, and to find out further information, you can go to the rec page of the town website and find the application and that type of thing. So that was pretty efficient meeting. Not the fastest, but close. So unless anyone else has anything to add, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
And-
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.
Hey Warren, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Sorry you came all the way down for not a whole lot, you know?